How's it going, gamers? I'm making a Minecraft Let's Play. I imagine this won't be picked up by the YouTube algorithm or whatever, so I'm going to approach this intro assuming you know who I am. If you know who I am, this probably seems pretty random, and to be clear, it is. But I also want to give it an earnest attempt. I want to practice, just speaking and video editing and some other random skills, and making a Minecraft Let's Play seems like a fun and valid way to do them, even if silly. We are playing Create Astral. This is a pack I have played before. It's kind of a go-to pack for me whenever I play modern Minecraft, because I just like it. I think this pack is just really well designed. I think it has a good set of mods, a good sense of progression, and good bespoke content, and quest book. I forgot that takes more materials. Yeah, so I have played this before. You'd think I know how things work a bit better. I don't know, it's been a few months, that's my excuse. I should have started with an axe so I could cut down more trees. I like that Create Astral doesn't just feel like a kitchen sink pack, it is a very intentionally designed experience. I think too many packs are just, here's a bunch of mods we picked out, have fun. And that kind of design style just makes it really difficult for me to stay motivated. You know, I like to feel like I am playing through something and not just there, I guess. In the early game here, I'll just keep talking about meta stuff. I generally set out to make the kind of stuff I want to exist in the world. That applies to my music, my art, pretty much everything I do is stuff I want to see just exist, stuff I would like to experience if I was not me. In the context of a Minecraft Let's Play, that means like a restrained editing style, not doing a bunch of fancy cuts and sound effects. It means not overreacting for the camera. It means like having a person who kind of knows what they're doing as the host. That's part of why I'm playing this pack instead of a pack I haven't experienced before, is that I have played it before. So I'm hoping that prior experience will make the gameplay smoother, less frustrating. That's not to say, like, I am perfect and I will know exactly what I'm doing and this will just be going through the motions. I do want to explore and, like, look at some features I haven't tried before and, like, try to make sure I'm automating things in more efficient ways than previously. I'm not sure how long this series will go, assuming I make it a series. Ow. If I can finish the pack, that would be great, but I don't think that is a commitment I can make, like, 5 minutes into my first Minecraft video, you know? I'm just gonna do the best I can and see how it goes. For this particular video, I don't know exactly how far I'll be able to get or how long anything will take. I would like to get some amount of technology and automation going. That's pretty vague. It's a pretty low bar. I want to see what I can get. Let's upgrade our pickaxe here. Yeah. Progression. I guess if you're not familiar with Create Astral, I should probably talk about it a bit. This is a pack focused around Create, the Create mod. You probably know if you know anything about modern Minecraft. And space, the final frontier, all the way up there. The regular dimensions are removed. There's no nether, there's no end. Progression is focused around going to different celestial bodies to unlock new kinds of ore and technology. So, like, once you go to the moon, you get access to blaze, which allows you to superheat your alloy mixing and get brass. That means we'll need rockets, but there's also a little bit of magical flair, so once you progress sufficiently, once you are able to, like, prove that you can make it to the moon or a different planet, you're able to make portals, and those portals let you just freely go between our home back on Earth and whatever other planet. Very fitting to find a snowy biome here, because as of recording, it is snowing outside. That's a rubber tree there, and that's pretty good. Maybe I can pick up some saplings here, just to make sure I have them for whenever I find a base. Whenever I start a new Minecraft world, I like to explore a bit and look for a nice area to like set up shop. I want to look for an area that's like flat and conducive to factory building and also other types of building if I decide to get creative. So even if I see like a gorgeous mountain, it's perfect for like a mountainside mansion. Unless there's a perfectly flat plains nearby, I probably won't build there, because I kind of need somewhere to put my machines and such. Sun's going down there. I might want to find a cave to explore a little bit. One thing I would like to mention is that I am a big proponent of customizing your gameplay for the experience you want. When I play Minecraft, like especially modded Minecraft, I'm not doing it for the combat. I'm doing it for like a chill experience where I can focus on building or making a factory or whatever. It would be really nice to have some wool here, so unfortunately I'm going to have to do this. They're only dropping one wool a piece, and okay, that doesn't actually help me at all. Oh boy. Please find me like one more sheep. That's just a couple of blocks in the air. So as I was saying, when I play Minecraft, I want just a chill experience. I'm not playing for the moment-to-moment challenge or frustration of like getting my stuff blown up or dying in a lava pool and losing everything. So this might be controversial, but I'm trying to be very transparent about it because I know some people might not like this. I'm going to turn on keep inventory and turn off mob griefing. I just don't want those kinds of frustrations. Now, to some people, that might make it seem like the game is going to be way too easy, you know? So, to appease those people, here, difficulty hard, hopefully that eases your mind. And it's not going to ease the game. I'll also mention something that I imagine a lot of people do when they're playing games, even if they don't make it explicit. If there's some kind of bug or issue that hinders my progression or makes me just like waste a lot of time, like an important item getting deleted or a quest not working, I won't hesitate to use some cheats to fix it, because I'm not here for that, you know? I've had some issues with quests not completing when they should. I remember like a biome exploration mission on Mars had a biome set that didn't exist, and so you just couldn't be marked as having found all biomes on Mars. I hope they have fixed that by now, but in that previous playthrough I had to just edit the quest. Some berries, not the best food ever, but they're a start. Will help. Now, let's make us a handy boat. I'm not gonna like cheat my way through the game, you know? That's not what I'm here for. If I'm cheating the whole way, what's the point? I just don't want the experience I'm looking for to be hindered by stuff I don't care for. I might want to mark that on the map. Nope. J is not the map, M is the map. Birch trees in this pack are so nice. I love the yellow leaves. So, a birch biome, I might not mind if there's a nice spot here. Birch biomes tend to be pretty flat. Oh, this is an interesting structure. I think I've seen this on like some screenshots of the pack, like the mod page, but I have not found one of these before in any of my previous playthroughs. There are plenty of structures in this pack. I'm going to be selective with my inventory here because I don't have anywhere to deposit anything. I'm not sure if there's going to be any hidden crates anywhere. I'm not gonna use the third-person thing for like the YouTuber. I'm not gonna do that, except for exactly there. Because again, I don't really like when YouTubers do that, so I'm not gonna do it. I should get away from that creeper. If you're wondering why I'm like just eating the berries, not cooking them and eating that, I play Minecraft vegetarian. I'm not vegetarian in real life, but for many years at this point I have played Minecraft as a vegetarian because of Wirt and Don't Starve Together. Wirt is my favorite character back when I played that game, so I thought it would be funny to add a little bit of challenge to Minecraft by bringing over that character trait. Seems like a whole lot of nothing. Sometimes I feel like I'm a little too picky and trying to find a location to settle down. Basically all that matters to me is that there is a flat area, but like optimally there would be some other points of interest nearby. Let's see what we got here. Alright. Not bad. Goes great with the Santa hat. Alright. I kind of worry a little bit that exploring like this is going to trivialize the early game if I find too much good stuff, so for the sake of video pacing and not feeling like I am cheesing progression, I hope I find a good spot soon. This is a strange little orb. I like it. If I could find a village, that would be nice to start off. Villagers in this pack are basically non-functional in terms of their vanilla use. You can't trade with them. However, finding a village would give me a pretty good supply of bread. And as I mentioned, I am playing vegetarian, so I am probably going to struggle a bit in the early game until I get some food set up. Yeah, this is a nice flat area, but I don't know. I feel like building in the snowy area is just gonna be really annoying. Especially because, like, if it snows, all my machines are gonna get covered, and it's gonna be annoying. Like, I do like snow. You know, shoveling it in real life is not so fun, but I do like snow, it's pretty. I'm not really sure what I'm grabbing these pumpkins for. They're there. I already have a stack of them in my inventory, so I might as well grab them. Maybe I should have just stayed in that birch biome. I don't have iron, so I can't make shears. I am regrettably going to have to kill these guys. Inventory is filling up though, so I might have to chuck some stuff out. I can start by putting the berries in my offhand, I suppose. It's kind of annoying. I know a lot of Minecraft YouTubers don't like to put stuff in their offhand because it just blocks off a lot of the screen. But, you know, when you're struggling with inventory, you gotta do what you gotta do. I really should just use the shovel. Like, there's no reason to not use the shovel. It's getting dark again, so let's make use of that well we found. I don't have any extra little planks. Call it a night here. And then immediately get rid of the bed. I'm gonna fix up the axe just to use up the plank, but I probably will turn it into a stone axe next time it needs repairing. There is zinc there, which I might want to grab. Again, at risk of just clogging up my inventory. So the tools in this pack are focused on the Tinker's Construct Hephaestus tools, but there are still vanilla tools that you can make for, like, recipe reasons. but they are more difficult. So you see we need these iron sheets here. So I'm not going to focus on those vanilla tools. I might use them just if I have them available, like extra iron pickaxe, I might as well. Polar bear, hello. Polar bears are one of those vanilla mobs that, you know, don't have any practical use. And were also added, I was gonna say recently, but like, how long have they really been in the game? I've been playing Minecraft for a very long time, so anything after like release 1.9 is gonna feel like new to me. And it's funny, because when I actually got the game, it felt like I got into it late, but it's just been so long since then. I haven't been sprinting because I want to conserve food, but might as well do it on ice if there's anywhere to do it. Boy, like, I've overshot the spawn. I was trying to get back near spawn. Maybe if I hook left. I don't know. Even if I can set my spawn point, I just don't really want to stray too far from world spawn. Maybe that's weird. What is this? Is this a meteorite? No. The leaves the leaves looked opaque, so I thought it might have been a meteorite. It's just a very sunken tree. Let's get out of the snow. I'm too cold. It's too cold for me. Okay, okay. Not only running into a what do they call it? An old growth taiga, according to the map over here, but also running into this little structure. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but got some things here. I'm not going to take very much here because I don't have space, but I can mark this on the map as well. Millstone, a couple of gears, cogwheels I should say. I just call them gears, man. And honestly, these furnaces, they have a different recipe here. They require, like, ore. I'm gonna take them. You know, they're here for me to take. Plenty of wool here, too. If I had shears and inventory space to hold it, I might pick that up as well. Another slime island as well. The blue one. This wheat I would love to take. I just don't have the space. I gotta find somewhere to settle down. What is this? Okay, exposed lush cave. That's fun. Ooh. A lot of clay here. Clay is very useful. Some grapes. Yeah. This mod has a weird focus on, like, wine, like alcohol, and I'm not a fan of that part. It's not an important part of the pack, so I can pretty much just ignore it. Yeah, there's some nice stuff around here. But I worry it might be too annoying to clear out, and I'm also not seeing anything that's, like, especially inspiring. Like, okay, it's a river. Rivers are nice. There's rivers all over the place, right? Kind of finding my way back to a birchy area. I know this isn't birch, this is oak. I've been lied to. I thought the orange leaves meant it was birch. See, this is like a nice view, but imagine trying to build a factory on here, right? It's not gonna work out. I really gotta find somewhere flatter. Oh, is that a structure I see on the minimap? It is. I think this is one of the vinery structures, so I'm not not too excited to see this. I don't have high hopes. Does it even have any loot for us? Okay. Yeah, thanks so much. One andesite compound. Do I take that over or something? And I can take it over my oak saplings. And I don't need those. Thanks so much for the singular andesite compound, I guess. I think I really need to find somewhere to settle down, even if temporarily, so once I reach the water again, I might just have to put down all my stuff. That is Very awkward looking bear. Alright, water, how are we looking? I think this works. I'm gonna just ride across the shoreline a little bit and see if there's anything that especially sticks out. Otherwise, I guess I'll just put down my stuff. I don't mind spruce biomes. I think spruce is a pretty nice wood type. Birch, okay. I don't mind spruce, but birch, yes please. And I don't care for that mountain too much. It's very islandy here. That's gonna be a pain for expansion. This might work. Alright, kind of a narrow island here. Is this another island here, or is this something closer to mainland? This looks pretty islandy. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think I like this. This is a nice spot. That's a bad omen. We got two parallel islands, similar shape. One is kind of connected to the mainland, it's more peninsula. Nice big beach on both of them. I think this is a nice spot. Let's settle over on one of the beachy ends, because then I don't have to cut down as many trees to get started. But I'm expecting to clear out all the trees eventually. I'm gonna go put my stuff down on the birch end, because I'm a birch enjoyer, as previously mentioned. Alright. Seems like as good a spot as any. Put down the bed, make it officially our home. I'm saying our because I'm a YouTuber now, so everything I say has to be first person plural. Guess I'll make a bunch of chests. Now, one of the really annoying things you can get yourself into in modern Minecraft is starting out with a really small storage system and then having to like expand out. And that is going to happen no matter what, because whatever I do right now, I'm going to have to expand later. But I want to prolong that as much as I can, so I'm going to start off with maybe 3 kind of columns of chests here. And I might put furnaces between. Maybe I'll put the crafting table between here. Some wood, we can make signs. Let's have blocks. Wood stuff specifically. Ores, plants, and mob drops. I'm gonna cut down more trees so I can make more chests, because I have more ideas for categories. This wood axe is only getting on my nerves a little bit. Only a little bit. Modded stuff. And I want a separate one for machines. And by machines I mostly mean create mod. The modded stuff one is going to be like other mod junk that I don't know where to put. Let's make one for like tools and armor. And we got some empty stuff. I'm gonna make sure to fill in later. I guess we can move the tinker station and part builder here. And actually, let me make a crafting station as well. Feels a little sacrilegious to make a spruce one living in a birch forest. Alright, so this pack has quests. I've been ignoring them so far for inventory space reasons, but let's start claiming stuff. Oh, it just gives you a bed. Oh, okay. There is a claim all button, but I'm gonna go one by one so I can see what I'm actually getting. I didn't see like an actual cave on these islands. What I might want to do is the boring thing of just laddering downwards. Alright, our axe broke. Finally, we can justify upgrading it. Never mind. Here we go. Before I worry too much about, like, looking around and mining, I should probably set up a farm of some sort. For that, we can create a mattock. So a mattock, I believe I know how to make, but I'll check to make sure. We need, yep, an axe, a round plate, and then some kind of handle. And this is kind of a mix between an axe, a shovel, and a hoe. So we will be able to use it for tilling soil. Did I get any kinds of seeds? I have a seed. Let me do a little bit of lawn mowing. Hopefully get more. Not you. Boy, I was really hoping for more seeds in this. I'm gonna harvest these just to get them out of the way, but I'm not happy about it. Really, can I get any more seeds? Like wheat seeds, I mean? It is really funny. It tells me crafting ingredient. Like, boy, in Minecraft, an item is a crafting ingredient? That's crazy. Alright, and I want to do it on a dirt-filled area. I guess I can do it over here. It's already kind of dirty. I'm gonna hollow out some of the dirt here to make it flatter. Not having a bucket yet, I kind of have to be mindful of the natural generation here. So what I might do is make like some water channels that can flow through and irrigate things. And later we might be able to, I say might, later we will be able to make something a little more artificial, a little more productive. And obviously once we get machines, we can just automatically farm some crops. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna dig in 4 blocks. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. So that's going to be the spacing I'm going to go for. And I could expand it another 4 on this side. Yeah, let's do that. Just to even things out. Let's do that. And this can flow 3 more. It's going to be ugly for now until we can, like, manipulate the water a bit better. But we gotta make do with what we have available for now. I should dig this out a little bit more so the animals don't, like, fall onto the crops and trample them. Getting good use out of this random shovel we found. And I might be going a little overboard just to try making it look more natural. But that's fine. And if you thought wheat was good for turning 3 of it into 1 bread, boy do I have news for you. In pretty much like every Minecraft mod pack, there is at least 1 way to turn 1 wheat into 1 bread, or better. We will eventually be able to more efficiently make our stuff. That will require us to get creative, you might say, get into the create mode. Okay, so in clearing out this area a bit, we have acquired many blocks, many items, and I'm going to use some of these items to do the boring thing and just make a mine that goes down with a ladder. Let's do this a smart way. Alright, now we have more ladders than we need. I always like to abide by the principle of making more than you need in Minecraft, especially modern Minecraft, because you will eventually need more, and making more in the moment will save you later. Let's put it next to this tree. We might cut down this tree later, but for now, no. Oh. No. Oh, really? Why is it placing like that? There. User error. Let's put that one like that. And I'll get mine. Now, one thing I can show off is that I have a button on my setup here that increases the brightness. So, hopefully that's helpful when I'm down in the mine. If I keep it on while outside, it's going to be very overbearing, so I'm not going to look at that for too long. So this granite worries me a little bit because, okay, never mind. The different types of stone in this pack, I believe, are kind of in larger blobs than you might be used to in vanilla. So looking for andesite, which is very important to the create mod, I need to make sure there's andesite. You see we got a task completed there for andesite. That's very important. I'm going to get more than the task required because, like I was just talking about, always get more than you need. Always make more than you need. Always collect more than you need. And it's raining. Oh no. I'm not a fan of the rain. Let's go plant our seeds. I mean, at least our wheat is a fan of the rain. That guy's not a fan of the rain. Am I able to take out that guy? Oh. Not if he runs away. He must have heard me and gotten scared. Alright, the quest book wants us to smelt up some ores in order to, like, actually unlock the crate mod, so I'm going to get some of these smelted. I'm probably going to need more of these smelted before we get to ore doubling. I just really want to conserve resources and make the most of what I got. The quest also specifically needs iron, and we only have 6, so back to the mine I go. Ooh, rainbow. This time I brought torches. It would be nice to find a cave here. I could probably use the map to find one. Caves would be dangerous because I don't have armor. All I have is the helmet we found. There we go. Alright. It's a cave, but it's a water-filled cave, which I'm not a fan of. I know there's tech you can do to mine a bit easier in these. I'm not a fan, but I'm going to be digging through it anyway. There's more iron here and silt. I can't justify that, man. I'm not mining in this. I demand better working conditions. I think 8 iron is enough for now. It's enough for what the quest is asking for. So while it cooks up, let's dive into the river and get some clay. Again, this iron shovel was a very nice find, just to speed this up. So that unlocks Chapter 1 of the Andesite world. So this is the core of the pack. We are going to need a lot of stuff from Create. So first thing here, we're going to create some of this andesite compound. We found a little bit of this earlier in a chest. To create it, we need some ore nuggets, clay, and andesite. So let's turn some of our tin into that. Let's find the recipe. We're missing the clay. It makes you turn the clay into blocks for the quest for some reason, but you need the balls for the andesite compound recipe. That's kind of annoying. I feel bad using the shovel for this because this is just a waste of durability if I do. So fist it is. Alright, with that out of the way, let's make some andesite compound. It only lets us make 17. What are we short on? It's the andesite. Great. It's fine. So we can cook that up, and it will turn into this andesite alloy. We can actually complete that quest right now. We get a dagger. This is a mod in this pack that's kind of annoying. It's just weapons from Minecraft Dungeons, and it just feels like bloat. I will probably end up using them because they're weapons. The first thing we're going to make here is this hand crank, which nets us some steak we can't eat. And that lets us power things by hand, which is very nice. Over here, we have this bronze. Now, we can smith it together using a smithing table, so let's make one of those. This is a very inefficient way of doing things, but it's what we have available for now, so we'll have to make do. Now we're going to need this bronze sheet, which it says we can make with a stone cutter, so let's make a stone cutter. I'm actually going to have to look up the recipe. Okay, that's kind of what I thought it was. And let's make a couple. Always make more than you need. And now we can put some stuff together and make these shafts and then cogwheels. Oh, we have a friend. By friend, I mean my worst enemy. Hey, stay still for 1 second. Oops. Donkeys can't spit at you like llamas can. And he gave us a nice apple pie and a lead. Oh, how thoughtful. So this gives us a few more parts. Yeah, this is a very important block. And it's so important that I'm going to need more andesite for it, because we only have one ally left. I'm going to cook up a bit more tin. Tin is not a super valuable metal, so I don't mind using that for our andesite ally. Once we get more zinc, I might start using that. But for now, tin is kind of what we have. Tin is, of course, useful for bronze, so I'm going to need to start saving some for that. Alright, this time the limiting factor is clay, so I'm just going to mine a little bit more clay. Alright, while that andesite alloy is cooking up, I can place these down. So in at least this pack, I actually haven't played that much Crate outside of this pack to know, you make andesite casings, which are your kind of machine frame type of block, by right-clicking your andesite alloy onto stripped logs. Kind of annoying to do, so we'll want to automate that as soon as possible as well. Alright, that gives us more andesite compound. And our first two, like, actual machines we're going to want to make are millstone, which we actually saw one of in a structure before, but I didn't pick up. And a mechanical press. The press takes a block of iron, which I can't afford. Millstone we can make, so let's make a millstone. Just a stone block of some kind, below casing, below gear, and I've got a millstone. Now let's place this down. And I'm going to hook it up to a large cogwheel so it goes faster. The speed affects processing speed, so of course we'll want to do that. And first thing we can grind, let's do some wheat. So I can throw it in. It shows on top there on Wayla what it's going to make. And now we got 3 wheat flour. Wheat flour we can't directly turn into bread. We have to turn it into dough by combining it with water. That's not something I feel prepared to do yet, considering I don't have a bucket or bulk washing setup. So that's where that's going to go for now. So millstones are useful for all kinds of things. We can automate sand by milling gravel, which we can in turn acquire from cobblestone. And cobblestone we can just grow automatically with this custom block from the Crate Astral pack. We'll get to that probably in chapter 2 because I'm not seeing it here. Obsidian here is going to be really useful. Here it's showing it in terms of like train stuff, which is fun but not super useful in my opinion. But this powdered obsidian is going to be very useful later, so we'll want to make use of that. I guess there's not much else we can do right now until I get some more iron, so I'm going to probably just do a bit more mining and come back when I am able to progress more. Right near that watery cave is a non-watery cave. That's probably where the mobs we were hearing earlier came from. I also remember to bring the iron pickaxe this time so I can pick up the redstone and zinc. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Okay. Let's get away. Let's get away. Get very far away. I'm not prepared for this. Not very range. Let's play it smart here. What got me there? So one goofy thing you're probably noticing is that skeletons have guns instead of bows. It is just like a texture pack reskin. Oh, don't shoot me like that. Hey, I should turn on my brightness thing. I'm sorry if that was hard to see until now. I imagine most people probably do that in editing, but I saw OBS lets you apply filters and I'm able to like set up macros to toggle them, so might as well have a button for it in my setup here. Oh, okay. Hey, what? Okay, I feel very silly. Apparently I didn't actually change the game rules earlier, which is confusing because when I blew up that creeper earlier, it didn't actually explode. So keep inventory was not on. It made a grave. I have to go find that grave now, and I'm hoping it won't be too bad. Is the zombie still here? Okay. I'm probably going to come back for stuff like copper, but for now I really just want to focus on like iron. Because copper is very abundant and we don't need that much of it for now. Iron is what we're lacking. Lapis lazuli is very nice to find because it lets us create the tinker's equivalent of fortune. So the more of that we get, the more of everything else we get. Oh, I don't like you. Oh, I don't like either of you. Let's get away. You took a lot of damage from the creepers. This dagger is so bad. I'm just gonna punch you. Dagger can't hit right there. That's so bad. Wow. Get a little closer. Come on, I dare you. There we go. Dude, this dagger is so bad. This is the introduction into the MC Dungeons weapons mod, by the way. They give you this terrible little dagger that has like a 2-block range. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I can't stand this. Maybe you can upgrade it. Okay, you can make a spear. Shall we make a spear? Let's see if the spear is any better. I hope it can take a damaged one. It can. Alright, so it looks like because we died, we got a head. That's nice, I suppose. It may not seem like an essential use of iron, but I think a bucket would be very nice. For now, I'm going to use the bucket just to make our farm a bit nicer. Actually, I'm gonna just do a smarter thing here. Let's use the trapdoors we made earlier and just expand the farm. I'm gonna need dirt too. Pretty nice blot of farmland. We won't be able to automate this very easily, so I'll have to make another one somewhere once we get the technology for that. This will work fine for now. I'm also going to keep a water bucket on me because I think it's just useful to have a water bucket for, you know, awesome gamer clutches and stuff. All our iron's done smelting, so let's make a press. It's a very pressing issue at the moment. The quest also wants us to make a depot, which you use in tandem with the mechanical press, so it makes sense. Gives us more ally, which is nice because we were just about out of ally. Now the press takes power from the side, so let's put it up like that. And this time, let me take out the stuff. This time, it requires more torque than speed, so let's put the gears like that. And it wants us to make 10 iron plates to start off, so I'll do that. Read any good books lately? Alright, I think that's the last one. Nope. I saw the stack go down to 1 and thought it was actually at 1. Here we go. Okay. Got an achievement for probably starving ourselves at that. Yeah. But we also got all 10 iron plates we need. So that gives us ham we can't use. And andesite casings, which we can use. This wrench is very important. We don't have gold, so I'm going to have to do some more mining first. So there's all sorts of machines and different ways to like transmit rotational power around here that I'm not going to worry about right now. Hello? I'm not going to worry about right now because I kind of want automation before I really worry about making a bunch of random stuff. I'm sure some of that will be useful in creating automation, but for now, I just want to focus on getting up to the grout thing. So we're going to need a mechanical mixer, which we create with andesite alloy and iron sheets, and we can put it all together. It's a cog, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. And we're also going to need a basin. And we got a stuffed potato. What's it stuffed with? Oh, I can't eat that. And the next step, you can see we got a lot of rewards for. We need to make grout. Grout is andesite alloy, zinc ingot, and gravel, so we will need a good amount of that. It's telling us to make 32. That is an equal number of gravel and then an eighth andesite alloy and zinc ingots. We're already almost have andesite alloy, so again, I'm just going to need to do a lot of research collecting. We don't even have any gravel, so I'll be back when I'm able to progress there. Hey, so like apparently our ladder's right here. Apparently, right around here, just around the bend, there's just some diamond ore. We can't mine it yet. We're gonna have to work on that. Good time to test out our new spear, I guess. Much nicer than the dagger. Okay, that was a good make. Off-camera mining is kind of a meme. I think that's unfortunate because, like, if I really showed all of the mining, the video would be really boring. Like, what do you want me to do? Just, like, show unedited footage of mining, like, speed it up and really just ruin the pace of the video? I know some people, some YouTubers would probably cheat and do mining off camera, and then you could tell by them having just more resources than is reasonable and not having spent any of their food or torches. But I think like off-camera mining is kind of an unfortunately cynical meme or joke, and I just think it's kind of unfortunate. I don't think most Minecraft creators are actually doing that much cheating in resources and calling it off-screen mining. But maybe I'm just too gullible. Okay. Something from the Create Astral pack. It's called the Shimmer from Terraria. There's actually a lot of stuff in this pack that is based on Terraria. We are not able to make very much use of it now, but it's going to be very useful later. So I'm going to make a waypoint. If you know the Shimmer in Terraria, it kind of puts you through the floor, but here all it does is make you glow. I'm glowing now. It used to not affect you at all when you're swimming in it, but it seems like they made it more like water. And the other cool thing about this biome is that it has moon sand and I believe, yeah, moonstone. Those are going to be very important later. Oh yeah, it also gives you night vision, which I'm sure has made the footage look especially bright. So I kind of apologize for that. I really want gold for the wrench before we start getting deep into Create, because I don't want to be pickaxing everything. Also, put a torch in my offhand, which is cool. The shaders allow light there. And I also, part of why I came down here was gravel, so let's pick up some gravel. Oh, pants. You know, as fun as it is to mine like hundreds of stone blocks in a row, I can't wait till we get some automation going. The idea is it gets replaced with like, automation later. Still, doesn't make the early game fun. I'm probably overdoing it by mining as much as I am, because I just want to make sure I don't have to come back here anytime soon. But I wouldn't be surprised if I had to mine more andesite before I get it automated, because like I have a few stacks. I have maybe like a stack of andesite compound in the furnace right now. That's not really that much. I'm gonna need a lot more than that. I was just about to make a bunch of these andesite casings, and to pick them up, I could mine them, but let's make the wrench. So as the quest book understates here, the wrench is just so nice. You can just immediately remove any create mod component, and other mods as well, other kind of machines. It doesn't have durability, it's just instant. It's so nice. It is essential. It also lets you rotate things, which is pretty useful. Anyway, I've been working on getting stuff ready, so I did quite a bit of resource collecting. Got a lot of gravel and andesite left over, but I've also made a bunch of andesite alloy. You might have seen some of that in like a montage or something, so shouldn't all be a surprise. Anyway, let's get going. So grout, we need 8 gravel for every 1 zinc, 1 andesite alloy. 8 crafts of that for now. I will probably want to make even more at the start, but let's just start with a smaller amount. So the mixer goes into a basin, kind of like the press goes onto a depot, and it requires speed in order to mix things up. That's why I've got it geared like this. And when it's done, it's just going to craft us some grout. I'm going to craft up a bit more. Actually, do I have enough gravel for that? I might not have collected enough gravel. Okay, that's something. And this grout we can just smelt up in our handy furnace here. I'm actually going to make a 3rd furnace just to smelt up the 3rd stack at the same time. While that's cooking up, you can see we get all of this stuff, and that actually unlocks some quests for us. This water wheel quest here, we actually just have to use the water wheel, so I will show how to do that while all of this cooks up. So this is part of why I really wanted to make the bucket earlier. Yeah, I think this is a fine spot to do it, just kind of behind our storage. So water wheels work by surrounding them in flowing water. So I'm going to put one down here. And I believe the direction doesn't matter anymore, it used to. I'm actually going to clear out a larger area and put down all 4 of the ones we got just in a row. And I'm going to block them off so the water doesn't spill everywhere. And I probably should have shown that, but once you put water on it, it starts spinning. They're all spinning right now because they're connected and they're all receiving some flowing water on the bottom. Let me actually make a little infinite pool here. They pop off if the water's trying to push them in 2 directions, I think. So we gotta be a little bit careful with that. Usually not an issue. I just took out the water source and that confused it. So we actually didn't really look at it earlier, but this hand crank here is connected to the cogwheel by that shaft. Do you see that? And that's what these are, these shafts. So we can hook these onto our other components, like their water wheels here that are producing rotational force. And we can just direct it around. We can use it for our machines and such. So we could directly put a mechanical press on like that, or we could split it up by diverting power with some cogwheels like that. We could redirect with a gearbox and have it go a different direction. We could flip the gearbox around vertically and have it go up like that. There's all sorts of ways to move our power around, and that's, kind of the big logistic challenge of the mod, is trying to figure out how to most efficiently use your power. This quest gives us more water wheels and also tasks us with creating bigger water wheels, which just take wood, so that's probably worth doing. If we want to create our own water wheels, the way we do it is just 8 planks around a shaft, and then to turn them into big water wheels, just 8 planks around that. So that's basically free once we get a tree farm up. And large water wheels are kind of unwieldily large, but they are undoubtedly powerful. So these are, they take up a 3x3 area. I think they're a bit slower, but they produce more rotational force per water wheel, so we'll be able to speed them up. And I'm going to set up our other water wheels going the opposite way so that they kind of mesh like that. I'm actually not sure if adding extra water here helps at all, but I like it being symmetrical. I think that looks better. Even if everything being made out of dirt makes it hard for anything to look quite good. So right now they are spinning in opposite directions, but we can actually connect them into a single line of power using these gearboxes. So you can see if we put them like that, they are both kind of facing inwards. And so that lets us connect these into a single bit of power here. And there are more efficient ways to speed them up, but for simplicity I'm just going to use some gear ratios like this. And let's lower the ground a little bit. I'm not very good at planning like the height of my machines and such. Let's put our mechanical press like so. We can move our mixer. Oh, not like that. Move our mixer like that. And our millstone, maybe we can put kind of like that. And have a wheel going down like that. Come up from there. And still kind of ugly. Maybe we can move the power back. And I've shifted some things around so it'll be a bit more accessible, but we have all of our basic machines here hooked up nicely so that we can use them automatically. We don't need the hand crank anymore. And that'll make processing things a lot nicer. And it looks like our seared bricks are done here, so I'm gonna come out and let's start looking at chapter 2 here. Big old set of paragraphs here. I don't care. 32 seared bricks, so we got plenty. Alright, so the smelter here from Hephaestus, I keep wanting to call it Tinker's, it's going to require a fluid tank. That's going to take some copper. Copper is super useful for fluid stuff. You can see this whole upper part takes a bunch of copper stuff, and it's all about fluids. So I'm going to take some of this copper I smelted up earlier and just plop it onto the press. And this is still pretty slow. I'm definitely going to want to speed this up at some point, but it'll work for now. While that goes, we can take a look at some of the other stuff here, different leads we have. This is a windmill. And windmills are kind of annoying, kind of tedious to make, but they're very nice for certain applications that I'm sure I'll get to at some point. You take a windmill bearing, which is pretty cheap, and these windmill sails, which just take some wool and andesite alloy. So I'll want to farm some wool up. Rubber here is very important, and I've actually gotten some rubber trees set up, you might have noticed in the background. So rubber trees are special because they have these little sap spots on the sides. And there's this tool called the tree tap, which we can use on that to get some sap. And that sap can be turned into a few things, including rubber, but also honey and seared bricks like the block. This is something we'll be able to automate later as well, but for now I'm just going to have to check periodically and see when we get some sap growths. Fortunately, you don't have to cut down the trees for this. The sap just kind of grows back over time. Let's chuck some sap in there, but we have to be careful. It can turn into rubber, but it can also turn into seared bricks. This is a very important step because this is our first step towards ore multiplication. It's not quite ore doubling yet, but it's getting there. We also need this heater, which is just seared brick items, and that takes solid fuel, which can be like coal. We are running rather low on coal right now, so as soon as possible I would like to get a tree farm set up and make charcoal automatically. Alright, so our mixer here has made us some seared brick blocks and some rubber. That rubber completes this quest, which gives us a bunch of random stuff. I say random stuff. This belt is super important. This is like the key to item logistics. takes rubber and dried kelp, which it gave us a little bit of. We will want to farm kelp, and in fact, I should probably run out and collect some and set up a farm like as soon as possible. Now this part here is very important. So this is our goggles that will let us see things. Get some sand cooking up, and I'm going to crush one more gold ingot. So I'm just going to plop that on real quick. These goggles we can equip in a special slot here. What they do is they let us see more information about the stuff we look at. So you can see at the top, it tells us the kinetic stats, and we can see that these function by taking stress units, that's SU, and different machines will take different amounts of stress units depending on how hard they're working, how fast they're spinning pretty much. These three machines we are all powering at 128 SU. And we can't really see how much power we're producing at the moment. That's what the stressometer's for. We can see on the stressometer up there that we are producing 4096 SU, and we are only using 9% of that, so we have 3700 left. That means we're kind of overproducing right now. It means we're not going to have to worry about expanding our power for at least a little while. Until then, it looks like our copper sheets are done. So let's take a look at the seared melter. So this needs a fluid tank, which is a barrel and some copper sheets. I'm anticipating needing a lot of fluid tanks in the future, so I'm going to make 6 right now. So we put that, we put 4 of these, we put 4 of these, and we get a melter. And we put these 8 in a circle, or square rather, to make a heater. We get a bunch of stuff as reward. And now we can see the next steps are a seared faucet, and then a casting basin and casting table. Let's make the basin and table first, because I like to do things out of order. And then the faucet, we get just a bunch of junk. My inventory is such a mess. I'm gonna put these kind of close to our machining setup, but it's not super related, so it doesn't need to be that close. We put the melter on top of the heater, put coal in the heater. I'm going to do things in multiples of 3, so I'm going to get 12 copper. And we can put them in the melter, and it will melt them down. And you can see it has a capacity of 12 ingots. Actually, I'm realizing I shouldn't be doing copper first. I should be doing gold first for a reason I'll explain in a moment. I'm just going to keep going with the copper, although I will need more of it. So we can place these faucets on the side, and then use our basin and table, and we can pour from the faucet into the basin. And we can see here, actually we can't really see right now because I'm doing this wrong. The point of the melter here, among other things, is to multiply our ores. So it multiplies them by 1.33333, basically gives us an extra third. So extra 3 nuggets per raw ore we put in. We can get better doubling later, but for now I'm just going to make some blocks so we can kind of get stuff out of the melter. Fluid handling is a big kind of challenge, so we'll want more intelligent setups as soon as we can. Me being wonderful at math, I totally misjudged how many raw copper I need to put in to get an even number of blocks. What we'll actually want to put in is gold, which I don't have very much raw, so I'm just going to do regular gold ingots. So you see these sand casts? Those are the less useful version of what we're about to make here. So the way we can get things out in forms other than blocks is casts. And so we can pour metal into a cast and it will create something of that shape. I'm actually going to demonstrate that with a pickaxe head here. So I'm going to pour that around, and I'm going to grab 2 pieces of bronze. And so we have our molten bronze in here. We can pour it into the cast, and it will slowly form into a bronze pickaxe head. And that bronze pickaxe head we can just plop onto our pickaxe, Just like we replaced the wooden one way earlier, several hours ago at this point. And now we have a bronze pickaxe, and this is much better than our stone one. It's much faster, it's got more durability. Feels nice to be advancing technologically. Now way back in chapter 0.5 here, there was something about this copper chest, so let's make one of those. Actually, let's make a few, because you never make just what you need. If you've played modern Minecraft before, you can probably expect what this is. It's just bigger than a normal double chest, and I'm going to start storing some things in there. I'll probably want some like hoppers draining out of these once I get more iron. Speaking of which, let's process our iron. So what I should do is process things in multiples of 27 if I want to do blocks. And one neat little thing we can do is use levers to make our faucets automatically pour. Before I can really demonstrate that effectively, let me make just a hopper to start off. My bad, it takes iron sheets. So let's put the hopper up. Iron like that. And if I press the lever, once the iron melts, it should pour into this basin. And then we can pull it out with a hopper below. You can see it's starting to pour there. Let me process this iron into plates so we can get more hoppers. Our first iron block is formed, so I'm going to put the hopper below. It'll automatically take it out and then start filling up again. And it's just going to go until it runs out of iron. So that's our first little bit of automation, pretty much. I mean, it's not much, it's not fully automated, because obviously we don't have coal, we don't have the resources going into it, but it's a start. It's a start of something great. I'm going to do my tree tapping duties. And look at that, we turned 27 raw iron into 36 iron ingots. How wonderful is that? So my goal for this first episode was to just do some automation. And I think this counts. It's not like a farm, but I think we're still a little way away from having like an automatic farm. So this is a good step. We've made a good amount of progress. I've been recording for almost 4 hours at this point, so I think it's about time I start editing and see if this actually makes for a good, entertaining video. That'll be fun. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this worked. It would be a shame if I was just recording for like 4 hours for no good reason. Thanks for watching. See you around.